Today, we're talking about The Disaster Artist and the weird story of how The Room came to be. If you haven't seen The Room, I don't know what you've been doing if you call yourself a movie fan. The Room is such a funny movie. It's a movie that was meant to be taken seriously. It's written, directed, stars, produced, everything by Tommy Wiseau, or I may be mispronouncing his name. It's a hard name. But it's a really funny movie because of how bad it's made. And if you're like, oh, I've never seen it, you probably have heard one of these two lines. Either "You're tearing me apart, Lisa," or "Oh, hi, Mark." And it's a stupid quote, but it's really funny. And so the movie is so terribly done, it's called the best worst movie of all time. The Disaster Artist is a movie by James Franco, who he plays Tommy Wiseau. And he shows the interesting guy he was and how he made this movie. I am so interested by this movie because The Room is so stupid, it's so funny, it's probably one of my favorite movies. But it's very interesting for one reason, because of how it was made. Because the Disaster Artist comes in and shows the mysterious thing of Tommy Wiseau. This man, no one knows where he's from, how he got the money, and how old he is. He is such a mysterious dude that I want a documentary about him one day, and I would be the first in line. I would go, and I would be so excited for that movie. The mystery of how this dude got his money is so interesting that people believe he was with the mob and he sold drugs, because the movie cost $6 million and he paid it in cash in whole, and all the money was there. And in The Disaster Artist, they show, well, we call it the dark black pit, because money just keeps on coming, and you just get interested of wanting to know who this guy is. And in the movie, it is very funny because you have Dave Franco's also in this, which he did a great job and all that. But Dave Franco and James Franco are in it, and Dave plays like his best friend, who both of them want to make it into Hollywood. And so they both try to make it into Hollywood, and it's very hard for them. And so they decide, let's move out there. Tommy says, I have a place, you can live with me. So Dave Franco goes out to live there. And then all of a sudden his mom's like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. I haven't met the guy. And when she first meets the guy, she asks him, how old are you? He's like, I'm same age as Dave. And then she goes, okay, if that's that, I just turned 14. And he goes, happy birthday. And it's the funniest line in the whole thing, because he's so sarcastic, but he didn't mean for it to be sarcastic. And so I'm kind of like is so funny just in knowing that kind of person he is. So then Tommy's told he's not going to be able to make it in Hollywood because he's not good looking, he can't act, he has a weird accent. So he goes, screw y'all, I'm going to write, direct, and star in my own movie. So he goes, he writes this movie, he comes to Dave Franco and goes, hey, I got an idea, let's do it. And he's like, okay, sure. And so like, you find out, this is where you get into like all the money the dude had, because he doesn't rent cameras. He buys 2 different cameras that should never have been used. And then he rents a studio. And so it's showing you like, oh, he has all this money, and shows the people like, there's no way this guy has all the money. And then they go to the banks, they're like, oh crap, he does. And so he goes and he starts financing this movie. They start paying actors. So this movie's coming together. And as they're performing it, you can tell 2 things. The script is awful, and most of them can't act. And the number one thing I thought was most interesting about this movie, it was really funny, was how long the famous line of, I did not hit her, it is not true, it's BS, I did not, oh hi Mark. And it shows that Tommy was so nervous, he could not remember his own lines. He wrote the movie, he should know his lines. And by the end of it, he keeps going line and they keep reading it back. And the entire cast knows his lines, but he doesn't because he's so nervous. And it goes into details of like, he walks out of the little cage he's in, and then goes, I hit her, no, you're wrong. And it's so funny, it's such a funny movie. And so it goes into the details of how he was kind of crazy and not a good actor, but always believed he was. The movie then really starts to get weird when you see Tommy kind of go nuts. He kind of goes crazy because Dave Franco moves in with his girlfriend, who's Alison Brie, which, fun fact, they're married in real life. I just saw that last night and I thought that was funny. And so they are in a relationship, they've been dating for months, and they say the next step is for us to move in together. So they move in together, and Tommy goes nuts because he thinks he's losing his best friend. Which, okay, all my single guys out there, you kind of get it when your best friend gets a girlfriend, you don't like it, and you try to stop it because he's not spending time with you, he's spending time with his girlfriend. And that was one thing I was like, okay, I kind of see where he's coming from, but he goes nuts. He literally does a scene where they're in the room, there's a sex scene, and they show behind the scenes, because he literally goes butt naked, jumps on this girl. She has like covers on, so it doesn't look that weird, but he's literally like, where he's at is not right, and they make a joke. It's like, is he trying to have sex with his belly button? He was like, no. So it's very funny, and it's very weird about how he's doing. He goes insane at this point and does some very weird things. Tommy then goes on to like fire everyone. He goes, you're fired, you're done. All y'all are making fun of me. And it's so funny how that happens. Because he goes, I'm tired of you, and takes Dave to San Francisco, and so they can play catch. And it's like, oh, play. But he can't throw, so of course it's like a little bit of comedy there. But like, he takes him out there, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? You're wasting my time. He's like, I'm done. And then Dave Franco and Tommy are done. Like, they don't see each other for months and months. The next time he sees Tommy is on a billboard that's promoting The Room. He hasn't seen him. He's now a play actor. He does a bunch of plays. He's proud of himself. He thinks they're really good. And so he was doing Death of a Salesman. And apparently he has a lot of success in that. But then he's driving down and he sees this big old billboard that says The Room RSVP. And so then he gets something in the mail that says RSVP for The Room. And then Tommy waits outside for him and says, you haven't said yes to my movie. And then goes, and so they end up going to the movie. And Dave's like ashamed. He's like, I don't want to go. So they go to the premiere, and Tommy pulls up to Dave's house with this giant white limo. And he's like, okay, this is going to be embarrassing, and jumps in the limo. They go to the premiere. There's lights. There's paparazzi. It looks like a big-time Hollywood movie premiere. But they drive past it to create dramatic effect. They drive back around. They show up, and he's like, no, it's time for my movie. And so they sit down, and the movie is so bad, everyone is laughing. Tommy gets upset. He walks out. He's like, this is stupid. Dave Franco follows him. He's like, hey, man, it's okay. It's funny. It's bringing joy to people and shows the good side of everything that's happening. And it's such a funny movie in that way, because he then goes, yes, this is my movie. It's meant to be a comedy. And he takes over how he meant to be a drama, but he did such a bad job. That's a comedy. The last thing I have to say is, have you seen The Room? Have you seen The Disaster Artist? Tell me what you think. Comment below. Comment what the next movie I should review should be. Just go talk. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you hated this movie, that's fine. If you hated The Room, I understand. But if you hated these movies, tell me. But if you liked it, I ask you to like and subscribe and just share this video. Hopefully this channel will go somewhere. I really enjoy making these videos. Okay. Until next time, everyone.